Your smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector may already be expired, and you would have no idea because the test button still beeps. But a beep just means that the battery is working. It doesn't mean that your sensor is functioning. I come from a family of firefighters, so this one is pretty personal for me. Let's make sure today that all of your fire safety devices are going to work when you need them to. We'll start with smoke detectors. Smoke detectors have an average lifespan of 10 years. That's the sensor inside of your device and its ability to detect smoke. If you've lived in your home for 10 years or longer and you've never replaced your smoke detectors, please order new smoke detectors today and replace them all. If you have not lived in your home that long or you're not sure how old they are, well, we're gonna find out together. I want you to pause this video and do what I'm about to do. Get up on a ladder or step ladder, take your smoke detector out of the ceiling, and I'll show you how to figure out the date. Mine says April 2019 as its manufacture date, so I have until 2029 before the smoke detector needs to be replaced. If yours is beyond 10 years, please place your order today to replace all of your smoke detectors. If not, you still have some life left on yours. Now, before we talk about what you need to look for when you're replacing smoke detectors, let's talk about batteries for a second. The rule of thumb that I was always taught by my father was when we change the clocks, we change our batteries. So that means if you live in an area where daylight savings is a thing, that's a good reminder for you to change your batteries. If you live in an area where daylight savings is not a deal, you'll want to set a reminder for January 1 and July 1. Change your batteries like clockwork every single time you hit those dates or every single time you change your clocks. Because when the power fails, if you have a powered smoke detector, you need that battery as a backup in case something bad happens. Now, if you live in an older home where your smoke detectors are not interconnected, this becomes even more important for you because your battery is your first line of defense. Do not skip this step. When you purchase your smoke detectors, there's 3 factors to consider. First, do you have an interconnected system where one goes off and they all go off? If so, buy the right version that has dual power, where you have your electrical connection on the back and then you have your battery backup on the front. If you live in an older home without that interconnected system, just buy the battery versions and you'll be good to go. Second, please buy a reputable brand. Do not buy off-brand smoke detectors. There are 2 that I trust and neither one of them have sponsored this video: Kid and First Alert. Get a good brand smoke detector. Third, before you click purchase or go to the store and buy, check to see that it is UL 217 certified. This means that it is independently tested and meets national safety standards. Do not put a non-UL 217 device in your home, please. When it comes to placement of your smoke detectors in your home, the National Fire Protection Association, the NFPA, has a link that I will share in the video description that you can reference to confirm that you have your smoke detectors in all of the proper locations in your home. If you need to add one, please do so. I have seen some videos that talk about yellowing of smoke detectors, and this is something to keep in mind. When these devices are manufactured, the casing is injected with a brominated flame retardant. All this does is help the smoke detector to stay alive and not catch fire too fast so it can continue to alert when that bad day happens. But over time, that will cause these devices to turn yellow, and it happens in approximately a 10-year time frame. It was not by design, it just happens to work that way. But if you have yellow smoke detectors in your home, just go replace them. You don't even need to look at the manufacture date. In addition to smoke detectors, your home also needs carbon monoxide detectors. If you do not have these in your home, please get them today. You may have a 2-in-1 or multiple 2-in-1s where it's smoke and carbon monoxide in your home. That's okay. I'll come back to that here in a moment. There is a detail though that you need to know about carbon monoxide detectors. There's an electrochemical sensor inside of these detectors that degrades over time, and it does not last as long as smoke detectors. This is usually a 5 to 7 year replacement in your home. I have seen that there are some manufacturers that are claiming that theirs go 7 to 10. Just check your manufacturer's instructions so that you know exactly how often yours will need to be replaced. But the same rules apply when it comes to replacement. When you get to that date, replace all of them in your home. When it comes to batteries, replace them on the same schedule as your smoke detectors, 2 times per year. Now, a lot of carbon monoxide detectors have an end-of-life warning built in. It's a different chirp pattern than the battery warning chirp that comes with that single beep that's annoying as heck. If you have a digital readout on yours, it may have END or ERR that tells you that it needs to be replaced. Your instructions will tell you that, but just something to remember. Similar to smoke detectors, there is a UL 2034 certification that your carbon monoxide detectors have to have. This one is a combo smoke and carbon monoxide detector, has both certifications. This one is a dedicated carbon monoxide detector that has that UL 2034 certification. Please do not install any carbon monoxide detectors in your home as your primary alert mechanism that do not have that UL 2034 certification. Now back to the 2-in-1 smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. Remember, the sensor inside of the device that has the least life associated to it, aka the CO detector, needs to drive your replacement timeline. So if the CO detector sensor in here only lasts 5 to 7 years, that's how often you should be replacing the entire device. Please remember that. You should also have fire extinguishers in your home. A good ABC rated fire extinguisher will cover most of the situations that you'll encounter as a homeowner. Here's what that ABC rating means. The A is for your ordinary combustibles such as wood, paper, cloth, and plastic. The B is for flammable liquids, so gasoline, oil, paint, and C is for your electrical fires. This is appliances, wiring, and outlets. An ABC rated fire extinguisher will help you in those situations. Now, one note, grease fires are the one exception. A good ABC fire extinguisher might help get that initial fire down, but it is not going to cool the oil or the grease down to a point where it will not reignite. If that's something where you feel like you need to have that fire extinguisher available, you will have to purchase a K-rated fire extinguisher. These are commercial grade fire extinguishers and they are not cheap. They're well over $200 per extinguisher, so you'll just want to keep that in mind. When it comes to placement of your fire extinguishers, I like to have mine, one in the kitchen, at least one in the garage if you have a garage, and one on each floor, just to make sure that it's available and easy to get to if that bad day happens. Now, when it comes to periodic inspection of your fire extinguishers, there's a handful of things that you will want to do, ideally on a monthly basis, but at least 2 times per year. First, you will want to check the pressure gauge. If it is in the green zone, green is good. If it's in a yellow or a red zone, you need to get rid of it or have it serviced if it can be recharged. Second, you'll want to check your locking pin to confirm that it is still in place. Third, your tamper seal. You want to confirm that this is in place as well and has not been removed. Fourth, you'll want to do a physical inspection. Are there any dents, cracks, corrosion, anything that could stop this from functioning appropriately? If it is one that's been recharged, you'll want to double check the tag on it to find out when that was done last. And if you have a dry chemical fire extinguisher, you will want to shake it because that powder can compact over time. The average age of your fire extinguisher is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 12 years. If you have one that can be serviced and recharged, you'll want to have a certified professional do that. That's not something that we as homeowners can do, but you can find one locally to take care of that. They say that every 6 years you should have the rechargeable versions inspected and recharged, and then every 12 years do a hydrostatic test on it where they basically fill it with water, increase the pressure just to see if there's any leaks in the canister. Please replace these devices if they are old. This is one of those things that gets easily overlooked, just like your water shutoff valve. Have you ever tested it? Well, if you haven't, you need to check out this video. And until the next time, keep doing it yourself.